Worldwide rates per power have increased due to rising global demand and a shortage of fossil fuels like diesel. Because of this scenario, importing fuel for our power plants is quite expensive. Fossil fuels have a finite supply and will run out in the future because of how extensively the world uses them, in addition to causing global warming by releasing greenhouse gases and other pollutants into the environment. Emissions primarily from the combustion of fossil fuels have risen dramatically since the start of the Industrial Revolution. Most of the world's greenhouse gas emissions come from a relatively small number of countries: China, the United States, and the nations that make up the European Union are the three largest emitters on an absolute basis. Globally, the primary sources of greenhouse gas emissions are electricity and heat, 31%, agriculture, 11%, transportation, 15%, forestry, 6%, and manufacturing, 12%. Energy production of all types accounts for 72% of all emissions. As of December 2018, coal accounted for 52% of the Philippines' gross power generation. Although fossil fuels constitute the single largest source of greenhouse gas emissions, the government and the industries in the Philippines continue to support coal as the primary energy source. As of 2020, the Philippines generates about 60% of its electricity from coal, one of the biggest sources of carbon dioxide emissions. The country in 2020 declared a moratorium on proposals to build new coal-fired plants, aiming instead for a big gains in renewable energy. Coal not only causes health problems, but it's also the main contributor to our climate disruption. In mountaintop removal mining, coal companies cut forests and literally blow the tops of the mountains to get the coal. This process dumps millions of tons of waste into our streams and poison our drinking water. Burning coal generates smog, which causes air pollution, which can cause asthma attacks, chest pains, breathing problems, and other respiratory related diseases. Coal pollution also contains toxic mercury that damages the nervous system and is especially dangerous for babies and young children because it can cause developmental problems. Mercury rains down into our oceans, rivers, and lakes, contaminating our fish and seafood.
Here in our province, there are many possibilities that we could utilize alternative sources of energy. We have two hydro sources, one in the western part of the Pangasinan and here in the San Manuel. Pero pag gagamitin natin yon, medyo costly yung ano niya, paggawa at saka yung maintenance. Pero yung doon sa ibang mga source of energy like windmills and yung pinakasikat yung sa solar, for the windmills, hindi masyadong advisable dito sa atin kasi sa may part ng Ilocos yung pinakamagandang pag-set up nun. So ang pinaka natitira sa ngayon ay yung sa solar. And kung kapag ibabase naman natin doon sa solar, meron tayong pwedeng maging basis doon yung exposure ng sunlight sa ating location. And by studying that, luckily yung Pangasinan, talagang maganda yung sun exposure niya. So meron tayong pwedeng maging basis yung doon sa tinatawag nating GHI. At doon makikita natin na it's between 4.2 to 4.6, nandoon yung location ng Pangasinan. Kung yung mga ibang mga lugar nga nagse-set up ng solar, kahit na nasa 2.5 to 3.6 lang sila, how much more sa atin na nasa 4.2 to 4.6. So, isa tayo sa pinaka-best na location para mag-harvest ng solar energy. Mamamaximize natin yung exposure ng sunlight. So, yung tinatawag nating ROI or return of investment, mas mabilis natin siyang ma-achieve. Kasi according to study, it takes 2 to 3 years para mag break even yung ating investment doon sa ating mga napo-purchase for solar installation. Sa ngayon, yung solar, bukod sa maganda yung sa sun na exposure niya, friendly na rin yung price. So for as low as 20,000 to 30,000, meron na tayong basic na setup na pwede magawa para sa bahay for lighting system and small power like electric fan and LED TV. So, yung mga yan. So, pwede nating i-utilize yung solar at i-promote in relation na rin para doon sa tinatarget ng Department of Energy na 2040 energy plan na mabawasan yung consumption doon, yung pag-rely natin sa grid. So dapat ma-promote sa mga tao na gumamit ng alternative source of energy, wag lang umasa sa grid.
Solar energy is the most abundant of all energy resources and can even be harnessed in cloudy weather. The rate at which solar energy is intercepted by the Earth is about 10,000 times greater than the rate at which humankind consumes energy. Solar technologies can deliver heat, cooling, natural lighting, electricity, and fuels for a host of applications. Solar technologies convert sunlight into electrical energy, either through photovoltaic panels or through mirrors that concentrate solar radiation. Although not all countries are equally endowed with solar energy, significant contribution to the energy mix from the direct solar energy is possible for every country. The cost of manufacturing solar panels has plummeted dramatically in the last decade, making them not only affordable but often the cheapest form of electricity. Solar panels have a lifespan of roughly 30 years and come in a variety of shades depending on the type of material used in manufacturing. Wind energy harnesses the kinetic energy of moving air by using large wind turbines located on land or in sea or fresh water. Wind energy has been used for millennia, but onshore and offshore wind energy technologies have evolved over the last few years to maximize the electricity produced with taller turbines and larger rotor diameters. Though average wind speeds vary considerably by location, the world's technical potential for wind energy exceeds global electricity production, and ample potential exists in most regions of the world to enable significant wind energy deployment. Many parts of the world have strong wind speeds, but the best locations for generating wind power are sometimes remote ones. Offshore wind power offers tremendous potential. Hydropower harnesses the energy of water moving from higher to lower elevations. It can be generated from reservoirs or rivers. Reservoir hydropower plants rely on the stored water in the reservoir, while runoff river hydropower plants harness energy from the available flow of the river. Hydropower reservoirs often have multiple uses, providing drinking water, water for irrigation, flood and drought control, navigation services, as well as energy supply. Hydropower currently is the largest source of renewable energy in the electricity sector. It relies on generally stable rainfall patterns and can be negatively impacted by climate-induced droughts or changes to ecosystems which impact rainfall patterns. Bioenergy. It is produced from a variety of organic materials called biomass, such as wood, charcoal, dung, and other manures for heat and power production, and agricultural crops for liquid biofuels. Most biomass is used in rural areas for cooking, lighting, and space heating, generally by poorer populations in developing countries. Energy created by biomass creates greenhouse gas emissions, but at lower levels than burning fossil fuels like coal, oil, or gas. However, bioenergy should only be used in limited applications, given potential negative environmental impacts related to large-scale increases in forest and bioenergy plantations and resulting deforestation and land use change.
The Pangasinan State University recently established the Energy Management Office, uh, Energy Efficiency and Conservation Office last April 2022, and that office mandates the conservation of energy and utilizing the current electrical installation to be more efficient. Bali, lahat ng mga non-LED na mga lighting fixtures kailangan mong palitan. Tapos yung mga air conditioning units na non-inverter kailangan gawing inverter. Pero syempre, when we are talking about alternative resources of energy, kasama din yun doon kasi according to RA 11285, yun nga, by year 2040, dapat malesen na or makita yung effect ng yung sa efficiency ay maging isa sa mga mix in energy mix. Kasi sa ngayon nakarely lang tayo sa grid, tapos nakarely pwede din tayong umaasa din sa alternative source of energy pero hindi pa natin nakikita yung pwede nating maging savings doon sa pagtitipid. So, but syempre still part of that law, the RA 1285 is installation of solar setups which is alternative source of energy ngayon. At least meron tayong matipid na 10% doon sa actual consumption. So it's combination of the solar setup and the conservation of energy. Kahit saan doon manggaling yung savings pwede. So that is the participation of Pangasinan State University within terms of utilizing alternative resources of energy. And for the students naman, may mga subjects kasi sila na research, especially sa thesis. May mga students na nag-propose ng related sa kung paano mas magiging efficient yung paggamit ng solar setup. For example, yung mayroon silang tracker kung saan pwedeng yung mounting ng ating mga solar panels ay susunod doon sa kung saan yung location ng yung araw. Kaya para mas ma-utilize yung, di ba, ang sun hour nga natin is between 4.2 to 4.6, baka mas lalong umaba yun kapag masusunod magkakaroon ng trackers.
Indeed, the Philippines' abundant resources give it a fertile environment for the promotion and application of renewable energy. All that is required is the continued development of these resources, with so many problems affecting our country now. Efforts and the use of renewable energy may still show to be the hope and stabilizing force. And usage will result in significant savings and money that would otherwise be spent in the importation of fossil fuels that have already been utilized to excess and are on the edge of depletion. Furthermore, the usage of renewable energy would undoubtedly result in a better, greener, and less polluted environment for our children and other Filipinos in the future.